Good morning, or whatever time of day it is for you. Bruce Kittle here with the Hidden Pearls podcast, coming with you to share another Mindful Monday. If you're listening to this on a Monday, I hope you had a great weekend and getting ready for a supercharged week for you. I invite you to take a seat or position that is comfortable for you and your body, whatever that allows. Could be laying down in a chair, on a cushion. It is all good. All right. Moderately alert, or at least the ability to focus without totally falling asleep. That's my challenge. Anyway, let's take a few cleansing breaths just to settle in as we get comfortable in this space. So we'll take 4, just inhaling through the nose, hold just for a count at the top maybe, and then we'll exhale out through the mouth. Excuse me. So here we go on those. So we're going to inhale. And letting it all go. Just filling up the lungs and the belly nice and deep. So inhaling deep. And then we talk about exhaling maybe tall. So inhale. And there we go. Just calming things down. Very nice. There you go. Just kind of settling in. So again, as you get comfortable, just as you're settling in, just whether it's your feet or the chair or your backside or your back, just again, really feeling the weight of gravity and the connectedness and the groundedness you have to this earth that we live on. Just take a breath in here, just normal. Just getting comfortable, feeling your connectedness, and just a little bit more relaxed. So as you're breathing and we're settling in, just again, maybe checking in with your energy level. What are you bringing in? How's your body doing? What's physically going on for you? As you're taking a few breaths, just noticing what's clinging, hanging on a little tight. And maybe what's showing up. Showing up energetically with thoughts, emotions. Again, as we're in this space, there's no right or wrong. Not trying to control anything about what shows up or doesn't. Not trying to get anywhere or do anything. Being present with our breath, our focal point, whatever that is. And just gently sitting in this space. And today I wanted to, as we enter into kind of just a 2 or 3 minute zone of silence, to let you do some breathing and being present. Just a reminder as to kind of the tone in which we engage those things which arise during our meditations. So one way to use meditation is to use breath and body. And as difficult thoughts, emotions come up, we can relieve ourselves from those through the breath, exhaling and calming ourselves down. In that form, we don't really deal with what shows up. We are really pushing it out, maybe because we're in a situation where we don't have time to really focus or deal on it. And we need to calm our mind and to calm our bodies because we have to perform in some kind of way. So it could be an athlete, could be shooting a free throw, hitting a baseball, throwing a pitch, football, soccer, whatever. So there's athletic, and it could be in a business setting or even a social setting that could get difficult. Sometimes there are things that come up, whether it could be fear or anger, distress, stressors. And in those moments, the most we can do is return to our breath and use that breath to calm ourselves so that in those moments that we're faced in those difficult situations, we're able to rise up to those challenges. And by kind of purging the difficulty of that situation, we can return to our home base, and then we choose how it is that we want to proceed in that setting, not driven by emotion or stress or chemicals being released in our body, but by choice, because you know who you want to be and how you want to show up. So another method, though, is when you're actually in kind of your quiet spot, your safe zone, and you're meditating, as these emotions and or thoughts might arise, we talk a lot about not being dragged off into them and being lost in just mindless thought. But there is a time in which to acknowledge those emotions and thoughts that arise. And that's what I wanted to mention today, is just staying present in a way and not getting pulled in with other emotional attachments, not seeing anything as negative. So if there's a person in your life that is causing difficulty, and all of us have one or two of those, and they show up, maybe just like a neutrality, just acknowledging, oh, hey, I see you. Thank you for showing. And just being present, maybe being just curious with what that is. And just, if normally you get triggered in some way, just paying attention to the trigger, the emotion, and just allowing yourself to back down from that normal response, maybe just a step or two. So again, it's just really about our tone and how we greet those things that show up, because we can't really control what shows up, but we can control how we respond to what shows up. So again, acknowledgement, acceptance, awareness, and just being present. And then if it is the right time, maybe just a little curiosity about how that image or thought or emotion pushed you or prodded you in some way, and wondering and staying kind of objectively curious as to what was that about. So let's just take a couple minutes here. I'll be quiet, and we can just practice this second realm. So I'll hit the bell, my singing bowl, every kind of 45 seconds to a minute, just to remind you that if you've been pulled in, just to release, acknowledge, let that go, and just step back to your focal point. And then just practicing kind of the tone and demeanor you have emotionally and cognitively to those things that arise. And not pushing them away or shoving them down, just saying, I see you. And thank you for being here. And just be present with it without rising in either emotion or too much cognitive technique. All right, so let's give that a shot. Just regular breathing. So I invite you just to stay in the way you are and just pulling you back to my voice. I just want to close this out with just a little exercise. We're about to hit into June of 2023. Summer is fully upon all of us. And I'm sure maybe like me, you set some ideas or goals around what you want the summer to be, maybe activities or things you want to do. So just for a few moments here, I want you to think of one thing in your life you want more of. Just one thing. Could be an activity, could be a way of being, a characteristic, a trait. Could be something at work, with friends, family. Whatever that is, but just one thing you would like a little bit more of in your life. All right, if we're holding on to that, then let's hold that and keep that in kind of the side of your mind. And then at the same time, think about one thing in your life that you would like a little less of. So I'm cautious to say anything about that, but just one thing that's in your life that you would like less of. Maybe it's TV, maybe it's something to do with food, maybe it's something to do with people around you, the way you spend your time. Whatever that is, doesn't have to be too big, just one thing. So just give you a second here to think about that. So this week, maybe just encouragement. When you are sitting in your meditation practice, just paying attention to and being aware of the tone and demeanor with which you bring to those things that arise. So just making an intentional choice with that and maybe practicing what we went through today a little bit. And then through the week, maybe holding on to the one thing more and the one thing less, just as maybe guidelines for things you might want to work on or pay attention to this week. So here's to having a great week. Thank you for joining me, and I wish you all the very, very best.